Today we're going to learn how to propagate a Kingsville boxwood. Taking cuttings from a boxwood is pretty straightforward. This one here is a Kingsville, but this method works with any variety. This particular tree is also a propagated tree, and it came from one of the first Kingsvilles that were introduced to Oklahoma as a bonsai. Let's get right to it. So first, we want to identify where we're taking the cutting from. You don't want to do last year's growth, and you don't want to do recent flushes of leaves either. That's too tender for you to plant in your medium. So we're going to take growth that has partially hardened off from earlier this year. I want to point out here that all this lighter green is growth that has happened within probably the last month or so. It has not hardened off from earlier this year, so we do want to avoid taking a cutting and planting that part of it directly in the medium. This step now is the longest step in the process. I will speed this up as quickly as possible. So what we're trying to do here is remove the bottom leaves of where the cutting is going to be placed into the medium so that you don't have leaves in the soil. So we want to remove those and also clip new growth from the top, but also leave some of the leaves at the top. What we're trying to do here is strike a balance between the number of leaves that will promote root growth rather than just wilt and kill the cutting. All right, thanks for hanging in there. So as you saw, we placed the cuttings in water while we're preparing this soil mixture here. So again, this is the same mixture as our juniper that we used in our juniper video. This is half coconut coir, half perlite, and I added some coconut chips. You can get these in a compressed pack from Home Depot or Lowe's. I order these online. They seem to be really well, work really well for bonsai amendment. So I've been using it in my propagation medium as well. This is the easy part. Now that all our cuttings are ready to go, we just dip them in some rooting hormone and place them with plenty of spacing for them to grow a little bit. They're not going to grow too much, especially this variety of boxwood, because we'll be uprooting these next year. So you do want to give them some room to grow. Next, you give it some water and you cover it. In the summer, you'll want to put it in a shady spot at first, but then over winter and spring, full sun, and sometimes uncover it if it gets too hot. Now, books will tell you that boxwoods will take root in 2 months. I found that incorrect with the Kingsville because it grows a lot slower than a regular boxwood. 2 months was not enough for it, in my opinion. So I left this through the rest of the year into the spring, and I'm just now taking these out in July, late July. As you can see, quite a bit of roots in each of these cuttings. You'll notice that some of these have a lot of roots, some of these have little roots. This is my first time doing this, so I did a mix and match of cuttings where I had some old growth. As you saw, the old growth did not develop a whole lot of roots, and then more recent growth did also okay, but the best was the hardened off growth from the first of the year. This was quite a nice harvest of cuttings. I'm just separating larger cuttings that I'm going to pot into training pots and grow a little bigger. I've separated some of the smaller ones to start a bonsai forest. The Kingsville Boxwood does not grow very fast, and again, it's a small leafed tree or bush, so it will be a very, very small forest. Next up, we're clipping the roots back a little bit. This will encourage more finer roots, and primarily the reason I'm doing it is that so they can fit into the very small growing pots that I have. I had a better success rate with these cuttings than I did with the juniper cuttings, but these do grow half as fast as the juniper. Thanks again for watching, and I hope this video was helpful to you.